Long meeting for today, so I'm going to ask that we try to move really quick through all of our agenda items and try to limit our talking conversation as much as possible because we have too much stuff. So let's go in with roll call. Senator Geber Miriam. Senator Geber Miriam. Do we also have the Zoom coming up? Oh, we've got the Zoom over there. Are you willing to show the participants real quick just so that I can see if someone raises their hand? Nice. All right. Senator Geber Miriam absent. We're waiting to get our Zoom link up on our end, but until then, just raise your hand if you're on Zoom. All right. Senator Shroff. Here. Thank you. Senator Larson. Here. Oh, I just saw her a second ago. Oh, here. There you are. Sorry. Senator Woldekaiden. Here. Senator David Wing. Present. Amazing. Senator Demenji. Here. Senator Victor Wynn. Here. Senator Bryan. Here. All right. Senator Roberts, or by proxy? No. Do we have a proxy for Senator Roberts at all present? Nope. All right. Senator Wenzel. Here. Senator Ibarra. Here. Thank you. Senator Nick Wynn. Here. Thank you. Senator Nirala. Here. Thank you. Senator Berhanu. Senator Berhanu. Senator Destin. Here. Thank you. Senator Atmaker. Senator Atmaker. Nice. Thank you. All right. Senator Mendez Martinez. Here. Cool. For some reason, I was thinking you were on Zoom. Sorry. Senator Hawk. Senator Hawk. Nice. Here. Raised hand. All good. Senator Zigweed. Here. Thank you. Senator Mesta. Here. Thank you. Senator Mueller. Present. Thank you. Senator Parikh. Present. Thank you. Senator Tamim. Senator Tamim. Do not see them. Nope. Okay, that's seen. Senator Blanchard. Thank you. Senator Goff. Here. Thank you. Senator Jha. Senator Jha. Over Zoom. Here. Already got you, Senator Parikh. I do not see Senator Jha. Senator Roiger. Here. Oh, they're together. Okay, my bad. Sorry about that. Senator Roiger. Senator Andry. Here. Thank you. Speaker Novak, that's me. I'm here. President Zelmer. Here. And Vice President Ibrahim. Here. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. All right. Jumping right on in. Next up, we have presentations. First up, do we have Bill Torval from the Maverick Involvement Team for presentation? Bill Torval, Maverick Involvement Team. If he comes later,
he has class till 4:30.
Okay, and I'm being told that our second presentation has class until 4:30, so it sounds like we're probably going to have to just bump the presentations until later. Will somebody make a motion to insert those somewhere into the agenda just to pick a spot?
Motion to move presentations to under officer reports.
Under officer reports. Is there a second?
I second.
Second. Any dissent to that motion? Seeing no dissent, presentations moved under officer reports. All right. Then in that case, Senator Mueller, did you have a different motion on the table?
Nope, that was the second, President Summers.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Open forum. Anyone here for open forum? Open forum. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I couldn't quite see you, Brian.
There, I'm Brian Schneider. I'm with IT Solutions, and I'm the Assistant CIO, one of the Assistant CIOs. And I wanted to update you on a couple of projects that we're working on, and a couple of things that are coming up. The first one is our Wi-Fi network, EduRoam. EduRoam, EduRoam. It stands for Educational Roaming, and it really is a cool thing because it's an international Wi-Fi network in higher education. And if you're not using it on your cell phone or your laptop, that's the one that we prefer you using. It's our newest network, and it offers a lot of benefits for faculty, staff, and students. We already have all the state-owned devices on it, but now we need all student devices on it as well. So I have a problem because not a lot of students are using it. And the reason is because when they're looking for a Wi-Fi network, they see EduRoam and they wonder, what the heck is that? I'm gonna use MavNet and MavNet encrypted. But EduRoam has a lot of advantages, because once your device is on EduRoam, then you're good to go. You don't have to change the password. Every time you're on campus, you automatically connect to it, and it just works. Another benefit is if you ever go to another educational institution that has an EduRoam network, it'll automatically connect and you'll be on Wi-Fi there too. So it really is a nice network. It's secure, it's fast. So I have a problem getting students on that, and you can help me by you can take your devices and you can add it to the EduRoam network. Just go to mnsu.edu and search for EduRoam, and you'll see instructions for doing that. Get your devices enrolled on EduRoam, and then go to all your constituents and try to get their devices on as well. And if you can do that, I won't have a problem anymore. But we're gonna help you out. We're gonna have a campaign going on, probably over spring semester, to try to get all the student devices from MavNet and MavNet encrypted onto EduRoam. All right, so that's gonna be one big thing that we have to do. The second thing I want to talk about is MavNet encrypted. It's kind of related, but that's one of our oldest networks, and it's not very secure. It also has some problems with authentication once in a while, like we had earlier this week. And if anybody's password changes, then your device will disconnect from the Wi-Fi network and you'll have problems with it. And then sometimes it can try that old password many times and it'll lock up the account. So we're trying to get rid of that one, but we have to get everybody on EduRoam first, and we're gonna try to phase that out over the next semester. So MavNet encrypted is gonna go away. We're still trying to figure out how to get people to understand EduRoam and get onto EduRoam, but you'll be hearing more about that over the next semester. Third thing is a Wi-Fi improvement project that we're working on. We know that we have in some buildings some Wi-Fi problems. So we bought a device, and our engineer Holly has been going around almost every square foot of every building with this device and taking measurements. And what it does is it looks at signal strength, coverage, speed, channel assignments, and interference. And then what it does is it creates a map, and we can see where the problems are in all the buildings. So what we're doing is then we're taking that and we're redesigning it, and we're meeting with faculty and staff and showing them, here's how things are today and why you're seeing problems, and here's the new design. And what we're hoping is that they'll tell us, yeah, go ahead and improve our Wi-Fi. Next step after that is we go in and we take some access points up. That's an access point, that white square box up on the ceiling. So we take some of those out, we move them around. We might be adding some where we need them. And then we come back and we do the site survey again. And then we show them that everything is great. And then everybody says, wow, I can't believe how great Wi-Fi is in our buildings. But the problem that I have is that everybody says, you know, it's good enough, don't mess with it now, because we're busy, work on it over break. So that Wi-Fi improvement project is going slower than expected. But we plan on focusing on that over winter break and improving Wi-Fi in the buildings. So that's the second thing. Or that's the third thing. Next is another big project that we have. It's updating our telecommunication systems, our telephones. So we've been, our Cisco phones right now are end of life. And Cisco is saying that they're not going to be supported anymore, so we have to replace them. And replacing all those telephones is going to be really expensive. So we're taking this opportunity to look at what other options are available. So we're looking at cost, and we're also looking at better ways for faculty and staff and students to communicate, to see if there's any better options out there. And we've been looking at Zoom technology, which is the same Zoom that we all use every day and we love. But that can also be a phone system as well. So we've been working with Zoom over the past year. We've been looking at different telephones that work with Zoom, and we've been doing a pilot over the past 3 months. And over the past 2 weeks, we've been talking to faculty and staff about Zoom and how it might improve communications and make, and even save some money. So we've been doing those demos, we're getting the word out. It is a little bit early. We've got a lot of work to do on it yet. Zoom has some development to do to make it fit our needs a little bit better. But we're going to continue to work on that, but we're getting the word out to the university that change is going to come. We're looking at Zoom phones, and we're getting buy-in, and we're hearing some concerns that they have. So you'll probably be hearing a lot more about that during spring semester as we do that implementation of Zoom phones. Some of the benefits are, for faculty and staff, it's going to be really flexible. So if we have people that are just in the office, they're going to be able to have a phone. If you have people that move around, like Mark Constantine is always around, he's going to be able to carry his office phone along with him. If we have people that have to work at home, he'll be able to reach them. It also gives everybody with their office number the ability to text message, which might be really huge for students to communicate back and forth, because a lot of students don't read their email. It's hard to get a hold of students by calling them, so text messaging might be a good option. Another advantage is cost savings, because the phone system is cheaper, the telephones are cheaper, there's no long distance charges, so we don't have to do monthly bill backs to all the departments. It's going to save my staff time, our developers time, and also the business office some time. So there's going to be some substantial savings potentially with Zoom Phone. And we're looking at potentially about $400,000 to $500,000 over 5 years. So we're going to continue to work with this. You're going to be hearing more about it in the spring as we get a little bit deeper into it. But I wanted to let you know that those things are coming. And with that, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Yes, Senator Brown.
With the EduRoam help page, they don't have the Chromebook on there.
Yeah, Chromebooks are Chromebooks are a little bit different, and we have to deal with those on a one-by-one basis. So you have to go to the Solution Center to have us help you out with that.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Do we have anyone else for open floor? Yes, John Bulcock.
Thank you, Speaker Novak. I'm going to be a short timer. Thank you for correcting me. I just pulled a Clark Kent in the bathroom, so wore a couple of outfits today. So again, it's good to see you all. Congratulations to making it almost to the end of the semester. This is your second to last meeting of the semester. Okay, just no freak out moment or anything. But I will be ducking out shortly because tonight is the last night of the 10th annual ULEAD conference. So we have a social starting at 5 o'clock and then a keynote address starting at 5:30 with Dr. Cinder Kampoff, who is a well-known faculty member here on campus and an expert in this field of sports psychology. There is going to be a fancy appetizer buffet, which we anticipate people showing up for at 5 o'clock. So that will be a great event tonight. So we're also giving away prizes as part of it. Thanks to Senators Wynn and Roiger for serving on the committee for ULEAD. But if you get a chance to stop by after this and your meeting ends at an appropriate time, that would be great to have you come by. Also, just an update. So showing up here shortly will be Chief Election Commissioner Mimi Cronin. She's in class until 4:30, but she will be showing up to present the approved election rules on behalf of the Election Commission for the 2023 election. So those rules are, it's actually a presentation. That commission is an independent commission, so Senate does not actually approve the rules. They are, the rules are presented for Senate's knowledge and information and all of that. It will get posted on the website. She'll also mention the timeline for the election season, the opening of candidacy, campaign deadlines, and all that kind of stuff will be presented. Also, you'll see in new business that there's a motion that's going to show up for your consideration. There is a fairly drastic change to the election rule that involves student government providing a bit of a subsidy for printing of campaign materials for candidates. And so there is going to be a bit of a proposal for you to consider. The commission considered this and thought that from an equity standpoint, it was a good move to provide a bit of a subsidy for candidates running. So you'll see that motion advanced today for your consideration. And it's more of a transparency thing, really, because obviously it is student government money that would be supporting this, but it's a matter of transparency, and it's something new that's being advanced. So if student government refuses to fund it, that throws out part of the rule. The election commission will have to knock out that part of the rules from the approved rules. And so that's just for your information. So Senator Wing, a member of the Election Commission, is advancing that resolution and will be able to explain it. And President Zelmer had some input on the motion, or the rule as well. So please consider that and look forward to any discussion that you may have. Otherwise, I'm going to duck out early because I'm going to go finish getting ready and set up for the U-Lead event tonight. So we hope to see you there if there is anything. And then I don't know if anybody's here to speak on behalf of it, but after that there is a drag show at 7 o'clock in Ostrander Auditorium as well. I just ran into Stephen Thomas, the director of the LGBT Center downstairs, and he said there are about 40 to 50 tickets left is all. And they're expecting a sellout crowd tonight for that event as well. So hope to see you at either of those events this evening. Otherwise, I will be around this week and Monday next week if you need anything. So otherwise, we'll look forward to seeing you for your last meeting of the semester, the week after Thanksgiving.
Amazing. Wait, before you go, do we have any questions for John? All right, seeing none, thank you very much. All right, I saw another hand over there. Yep, go right ahead.
Hello, Jody Eglin, Medical Director of Student Health Services. I just wanted to remind you all and let your other fellow students know that flu season is here and we are seeing influenza on campus. And so we do have the flu shots available to you, which is good to get before you go on break and be around others. We also have the bivalent booster for COVID, and that vaccine is available any Friday. That is the newest strain, so if you've actually had COVID, you need to wait 90 days to get that. If you had a COVID vaccine, you need to wait 2 months to get the new booster. So just wanted to give you guys that information to keep you healthy.
Thank you very much.
Questions?
Yeah, looks like we've gone from President Zelmer.
Yeah, if a student wants to get a flu shot or the COVID booster, do they have to charge it to their insurance, or are they able to just come in and get those shots?
The COVID booster is still free through COVID funding through the federal government. And then the insurance, we do bill your flu shot through insurance. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Senator Narala.
Are these boosters and shots free for international students as
Yes.
well? Sounds good.
All right, awesome. Do we have any other questions? Seeing none, thank you very much. Anyone else for open forum? All right, seeing no one else for open forum, we're going to move on to the approval of the consent agenda. We've already passed one amendment to the consent agenda to move presentations down, but do we have any other amendments or dissent to the consent agenda? Senator Blanchard.
I have a motion to move new business above senator reports because of the U-Lead conference that's happening tonight. If people aren't staying for the whole Senate meeting.
Okay, do we have a second on that? Second from Senator Zigweed. Do we have any dissent to that? Any dissent? Seeing no dissent, assume unanimous consent, passes. All right, the new business will be moved above senator reports, but I'm going to put it below presentations. So, therefore, do we have any other amendments or dissent to the consent agenda? Yes.
Just a motion to expedite the student government election subsidy resolution to voting for today, given the time constraint.
I will ask that you hold that motion until we get to new business, but then you can go right ahead. So with that, any further dissent or amendments? Any other dissent? Seeing no dissent, assume unanimous consent. Consent agenda is passed. All right, moving right along, officer reports.
Cool. Hi, friends. I hope you all are looking into your classes. Withdrawal deadline is tomorrow at midnight, so if you're not going to pass the class, you might as well withdraw from it if you can. So, you can't get your money back, but hey, it's not on your transcript. So, Students United update. We had our Students United board meeting last weekend. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you'll see a funny picture. But anyways, so a few things were talked about. We approved the audit in 990. I was interviewed for those processes. No concerns on my part. We're really working to expand our funding sources beyond just student fees. They've been doing really well with doing that through like the 55th, as well as they received a large grant for the student leadership program, as well as they bring in a lot of different funding revenue other ways. If you want more information, the 990's online, so you can go and look at that. We also are starting to look at our state and federal legislative agendas. We had our first reading. It kind of is going by themes that they heard at the conference. So there's like student basic needs themes, funding themes. The biggest one I would say is that Students United typically does this, is they vote to support and lobby or advocate on behalf of the min-state request for the state legislature. If min-state gets money, they're also requesting a tuition freeze. If we help them advocate for that, hopefully it happens, and then we don't have to spend as much money on school. There's also a bunch of other things in there. I'll try to find the presentation from the Board of Trustees, and we can put it up. And then the committees of the board will be meeting. We have 2 students that are serving on the Legislative Affairs Committee. They'll be able to have eyes and feedback on that. Second and final reading of the legislative agenda is going to be next month. I'll get a copy of that and send it out to all of you. The board packet isn't online yet, so I'll be able to send that out to you all. So if you have feedback, let me know so I can bring it up. I also brought up renters' rights. It was left off the first reading of the legislative affairs agenda. Last year we advocated for lots of renters' rights with no hidden fees. So if you have to pay for laundry, that's like shown in your rent, or if there's trash fees, all of that is shown when you apply for the housing. Another thing that we were going to work with the U of M on last year is predatory lease signing. I don't know about the rest of you. I was asked to re-sign my lease by October 31st. First year students are already signing leases, and any community advisor in the room can tell you that half of those leases aren't going to work out. So I think if Students United doesn't pick it up, I think we go and write a bill and lobby the state government to pass it. So just a thought. So I met with the government relations person today just to talk about renters' rights, see where we can go from this. They're setting up a meeting with Homeline, which is a renters advocacy organization, to see like what we could do moving forward to work with them or what their agendas will be. Next, budget sub-meet and confer happened this past week. Major thing coming out of that for students. So in 2019, the sports dome was built. Students pay, I believe it's about $20 a semester, 10 a semester, 20 a year for the sports dome. It was supposed to be seasonal, so it'd go up and down. The service we were going to use to take it up and down no longer offers that service. So it would cost exponentially more than what was expected post-pandemic. So they are going to be coming to us soon to present what their options are moving forward. The fire marshal of Minnesota told every dome in the state that's seasonal that they cannot keep it up in the summer anymore. They have to put in fire suppression. Todd, feel free to correct me if anything I'm saying is wrong. So they're looking at ways to make it like a permanent structure. Air conditioning is up for debate. I brought up, if it's not going to cost too much more to be able to use it all seasons and have it a permanent dome, we'd be interested in that. I've already told them, unfortunately for them, I was on the Senate that brought it to a student vote that got a student fee. So I'm asked that they avoid student fees because I already voted to approve it once, so I would rather not do that again. And just for context, the dome funding, like through the student fee, half of the dome was funded through our student fees for up to, I believe it's, anyways, that vote passed 2,000 students in favor, 1,000 against. So it was a vast margin that voted to support building the dome and using student fees for it. If we can get that kind of turnout in the student government election, that'd be cool. So they'll be coming in soon. I participated in a student panel for ULEAD. That was fun. I stopped by the Elections Commission to give some feedback, which they actually took my feedback, so that was cool. I attended the Library and Bookstore Committee. I'll be working with the chair of that committee, Senator Blanchard, to talk a bit more about the Maverick Textbook Reserve. If any of you all are like, I want to help pick the textbooks that'll go in that reserve, let us know and we can like connect you with the director of the bookstore. That's also where the resolution that we'll be talking about today, that was passed by the 87th student government. We're just going to bring it back up because they haven't been honoring it after that year. So we're just going to say, hey, forgot about us. Also, we're going to be looking at that contract. If you have any experience with the First Day program, we're very interested in looking into that program. I've even heard from students that know nothing about student government that have had to appeal the First Day program fee applied to their account. So just some food for thought. If you're interested, reach out to Senator Blanchard. Strategic plan, they'll be wrapping up at the end of the semester. I think it looks pretty good. I'll see if the chair of that committee, Dr. Lynn Akey, wants to come in and like walk us through it so far, or if that's like open or maybe early next semester. They produced a hopeful engagement plan that includes student government, but it also includes RSOs outside of student government. So I don't know if they're planning on doing that by like an open forum or reaching out to certain like student groups, but it's nice that they're expanding beyond just us, but we will be included in that feedback process as a body at large. We lost kickball because y'all didn't practice like I asked. So congratulations, administration, and other student affairs staff. To be fair though, you all have a bit more free time to practice kickball than we do. So, beyond that, the election, I got some numbers. Thank you, David Cowan, for putting some of these numbers together. We had great turnout on campus for the election. Well over 1,000 students voted in the residence halls. That's about 1,300 students voted in the residence halls in the governor race. Well over 3,000 students voted. At least we think they're students because they're like major student apartment complexes, but we're not sure. So big shout out to our city and local affairs coordinator, Grace, for putting all that together, and anyone who helped table throughout the time. Also to the other student organizations around campus, beyond student government, that helped walk students to the polls, drive students to the polls, and remind everyone to vote. We'll be like putting all of our plan that we had on paper, so that way 2 years from now, they'll just be able to have a plan and not have to start from scratch. I'm gonna be sending out an all-student email before the end of the semester. I'm hoping out of this email that we can compile all of the major things that students need to know for dead week and finals week, whether that be events on campus, tutoring hours, library hours. We're going to include grade appeal process since that happens right after the semester. We're gonna talk about residential life stuff. If there's anything else or like any events you want to make sure every student knows about, or any services on campus that offices are having, please let me know so I can include it in that email. That way students can find all that information in one spot. We're gonna do semester senator reports. I'm gonna have a form, so it's like a guided senator like transition report, but it's for the semester. That way we just have more information and it's not at like the back of your head as we go to the end of the year. So it'll just ask about what you've been working on, what roadblocks, things like that. Transition reports will be internal documents of Senate, so you can feel free to be like brutally honest. And get ready for spring. If you want to get stuff done in the spring, maybe work over break on some of it. I yield for questions.
Yeah, do we have any questions? Any questions at all? All right, seeing no questions, Vice President Ibrahim.
Hello. Last Friday we had the bias incident report meetings. Faculty member reported that some students on our campus feel excluded in terms of a language that we do not have on campus. Their concern was that we don't diversify the language that we have on campus. So the faculty who shared the report will be following up with the students and asking what language they speak. So hopefully we can get updates next meeting how that went. Some solutions we discussed in the future were looking into what kind of languages we have on campus and how can we increase them so we can ensure that all our students who speak different languages are included. We also discussed the sending out a surveys at the beginning of each semester that discussed what bias incidences and all the research that we have on campus. And then last night we had the Center of Academic Success meeting. Some of the things that we discussed were that the office is struggling to find the math tutoring right now, which is one of the subjects that students use a lot. So is math your things? You should get a job in the center. The assistant director shared that they are now also getting a lot of response from the faculty that they have emailed with collaborating tutoring. So that was that. Some faculty that I'm working with the tutoring center right now have homework days in the class. So that's working for students. They have a tutoring in class. If they have a question, they don't have to go to the tutoring center because there is a president tutoring class with them. It's working for them, and they already can see the change through the students. This Monday was the American Indian Night. It was fun learning about indigenous culture, so I want to thank Senator Amal, David Mesta, and Stormy for showing up. And that's my office report. Any questions?
Do we have any questions? All right. No, seeing no questions, I'll go ahead and go with my officer report. I'll try to keep it brief, but I'm going to break down something that may require further clarification. So, we are coming to the end of the semester, and last year at budget meetings, the Senate voted to expand the budget in order to include pay for senators so that senators could potentially get paid. So the three of us went through the Constitution and bylaws and said, how is this supposed to work? How can we make this work in an equitable way? And I am going to break down what we decided based on our Constitution and bylaws was the most equitable way to distribute that senator pay. First of all, before I even start, I want to make something very clear. This is $100 per semester. Breaks down to like 50 cents per hour. But if people really want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, I can get into the nitty-gritty of it. So how we broke it down was we said you have to be fulfilling the expectations as a senator. So you have to have been sending in your senator office hours, and if you haven't and you want to like go back and like resend them to me, that's fine. They've just got to be in by December 1st. I've got to get your office hours by December 1st. And then the other thing was we needed senators to have attendance, and we went based on what the Constitution said by this, which is allowing for people to miss up to 2 meetings. And originally that was interpreted and phrased in a way to say that if you were elected as a vacancy senator, you would not be able to get senator pay. We decided that, hey, we can be a little bit flexible with this. If people are allowed to miss 2 meetings, we'll say if someone was elected by the 3rd meeting, as long as they have attendance after that, they're good to go. So vacancy candidates who were elected 3rd meeting or prior are eligible for that pay. And then we also, it also requires that people have been given officer reports, which is why I've kind of been going around making sure to like collect people's officer reports, or not officer reports, senator reports, which we've got a lot of senator reports today, and on the 30th it's probably also going to be a lot of senator reports. I'm going to be, I've got a little sticky note right here on right in front of me that's got a list of the people who I still need to get senator reports from. So I'm either going to talk to you in person or I'm going to shoot you an email after this to make sure that we can get everybody's senator reports in, because I really don't want that to be the reason that someone doesn't get paid. If people have further questions or clarifications or want to know if they're currently eligible, come talk to me afterwards. I don't want to spend a ton of time like going super into the nitty-gritty details of it here, but that's senator pay, and that's how we're doing that. The next thing is we all are looking at our courses and stuff for next semester. We're looking at our schedules. If your schedule conflicts with Senate next semester, please send in a resignation now if you're not planning on being able to attend Senate next semester. So if you have a class conflict, that's totally like, hey, I understand, I get it, sometimes that happens. please send us a resignation now so that we don't have to go trying to track you down after the fact. Or if you have another similar schedule conflict, send it in so that we don't have to track it down, and then we can potentially work on filling that vacancy. And then finally, the senator office hours are going to be due this week, and then they're also going to be due the week of the 30th, which is our final meeting. However, since next week is Thanksgiving and we're only going to be in school for like 2 days, if your last office hour thing is only like 3 hours, the equivalent of like 1 week, that's totally cool. That's totally fine. Yeah, that's what I've got for my officer report. Do we have any questions? All right, sweet. And then, of course, Dean of the Day, Dean Haar.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for inviting us. On behalf of the deans, I just want to wish you the best as you finish up your fall semester.
Thank you very much. All right, awesome. Then in that case, per us moving some stuff around, we've got presentations now. So I'm going to go ahead and I do not see Bill Torval. Is Bill Torval here for presentations? No. Then in that case, Mimi Cronin, would you like to go? Yes. Heck yeah. You know the drill. I am going to go ahead and make sure to time it just since we've got, looks like a lot on our agenda, just to make sure. So you've got 10 minutes.
Okay, am I okay to share?
Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Mimi Cronin, I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Chief Commissioner of the Elections Commission. So I am here to present the rules for this year's upcoming election. Thank you. So I will be presenting a condensed version of the rules because y'all snapped through the rules, most of you, if you ran last year, so you don't, they're long. But I'll also share the timeline as well as just some updates that have happened to the rules that I think are of interest for everybody. And then I'll also stand for questions if folks have any questions.
Don't worry, I'm not using this as your time while you're setting up.
Oh, y'all are seeing them. Okay, so what I have on the screen right now are the...
Can we make the rules full screen, please? IT? Well, they were full screen, but like not have the video on. Cool. That's good.
Okay, so these are the election rules. They were approved by the Election Commission on Monday. Maybe it was Tuesday. No, it was Monday. Okay. So most of them are the same from last year. We've got some stuff about eligibility, filing. Filing will open. The candidacy application will open the first day of the spring semester. So this upcoming January, for anyone who's planning on running, you'll be able to get your application in then. Is this mic not on? Oh, now it's on. Okay, thank you. But yeah, I wanted to highlight 3 changes in the rules that I think are just important to know because they're kind of significant. So the first change in Article 5, Section 1 is that we did specify that voting this year is 2 days. Prior to, I think, 2020, the election used to be a single day, so now it will be a Monday and a Tuesday, so we just wanted to put that in the rules so that way folks understand that it is official. So they will open Monday morning at 8 a.m. and close on Tuesday at 6 p.m. The second thing under finances in Article 6, Section 5, is that student government will start providing election campaign subsidies. So this means that any person running for a position will receive up to $10 of a subsidy, capped at $50 for those who are participating in a party, to print campaign posters or handouts at university printing services. So this was suggested to the committee by President Zelmer and passed by the commission, just as a way to provide equity. I'm sure for those who have been around on campus, have run before, recognize that the posters are a substantial part of the campaigning experience on campus. So this will be a way to help people who may not be a part of a party or might not be able to supplement their own finances to engage that way. We also, think about the ways that other organizations kind of do this when there are campus-wide elections. Think of like homecoming royalty. The royalty candidates are given campaign posters by student events team for free. So just a way to start modeling the other campaigns that take place on campus. So in order for this subsidy to happen, the electronic file does need to be received by the Elections Commission, both received and approved, so following all the guidelines that a poster on campus would need to abide by no later than 1 week before campaigning officially kicks off. So in the timeline, we'll have that date there. But that is a way because then the Elections Commission will be responsible for printing those posters and then getting them stamped and having them in the office for folks to pick up. In addition, to receive the subsidy, the candidacy application must have already been filed, and the required rules readings must have been met. And so that is important to know just because that deadline to submit the file is actually before the candidacy application closes. But again, it's important for the Elections Commission to have time to do that. So that's why that deadline is before the candidacy application closes. And then finally, the subsidy shall not count towards the candidate's party or individual spending limit, just because that is a basis that's offered to everybody. And then the last change that happened in Article 7, Section 4E is that we, as a commission, decided that a decision to declare a candidate ineligible for election is subject to a unanimous vote by the commission. So just saying that if we were to ever decide that a person would have their eligibility removed from running for candidacy, it would need to be a unanimous vote just for total support for the commission. Are there any questions or thoughts about the rules before I move on to the timeline?
Do we have any questions? All right, seeing none, go right ahead.
Cool, thank you. So moving on to the timeline, the stuff that people really want to know about. So January 9th, that is when the candidacy application will be made available. So that will be on, I don't know what the form is called now.
Presence.
Presence. Ooh, that's new. Haven't heard of it. Okay. So it'll be on Presence. So folks will need to fill that out, especially if they want to get their subsidy given to them for the posters. That needs to be done, as well as just to be a candidate on the application. Our rules readings have not been determined yet, but we will be hosting 2 of them prior to the election. Rules readings are not required of individual candidates. However, parties must have at least 1 member attend a rules reading to be scheduled with the election commissioner. And yeah, so if a person is running individually, like without a party, they do have to attend a rules reading. But if a person is part of a party, there just needs to be 1 representation from the party. The meetings will be held both in the conference room, in the student government office, and on Zoom. March 18th, so that is that day to submit the approved poster handout design for candidates wishing to take advantage of the subsidy from student government. The 25th is the day that campaigning begins. So that's like a Saturday, so y'all have the weekend to go up and hang up those posters, get your social media launched, stuff like that. The 27th is the filing deadline for president and vice president candidates. April 5th, ooh, these are out of order. April 5th will be the candidate forum and the fee increase forum if y'all have that after your budget meeting, which will be happening at noon that day. So April 3rd, which is before that, is the deadline for all other candidates, so Senate seats and boards. And then the election will be the 10th through the 11th, again, that Monday to Tuesday, opening at 8 a.m. on Monday, ending at 6 p.m. on Tuesday. And then the election will be confirmed at Senate the next Wednesday, and then by the 13th, all campaign materials need to be removed. Any questions about the timeline?
Do we have any questions? Any questions at all? Seeing none, you may continue if you have more, or if you don't.
Yeah, I think my last thing is that the commission is 4 strong, so we still are looking for other people that might be interested. If you are interested in serving on the commission, you cannot be running for a seat yourself, nor can you be endorsing anybody who is running. But one, we would love to have some more people. It's a good fun time the day we get to count the votes. There's a little pizza party with John and Amber, so free meal. But also it'd be great to have an odd number just to, for voting purposes, because if it's even, we might have a deadlock about some things. So if anyone is interested in joining the best commission, please talk to President Zomer. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Mimi Cronin about the election? Yeah, President Zelmer.
I don't have a question, just a comment for people at the table. Anyone who's been a part of student government for a long time, well, when elections still had multiple parties running, things can get tense, right? And sometimes during election season, things get tense at the Senate table and we are less productive for the student body. So if there's multiple people running that are sitting at this table or in the room or in the student body as large, if you are a senator, you are still here to represent the students, even if you are running for an office. If you are running against someone, that does not mean you should vote against what they're bringing up just cause, or try to leave some things behind, or just hold up things just for the drama's sake of it. Keep the drama out of the Senate meetings and keep campaigning nice. I yield.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? No? All right, thank you. All right, last call for Bill Torval. If we have Bill Torval. Nope, does not look like it. So we're gonna go ahead and move along to new business. First up on new business is the Student Government Election Subsidy Resolution. Flows right in from what we just heard. As the first, would you like to speak on this, David? And then afterwards, I can entertain a motion to expedite.
Cool. All right. So as we just saw in Mimi's presentation, great job, Mimi, by the way. We discussed the subsidy that we had signed off on Monday in our election rules meeting. And this is essentially to increase equity within our elections. This is actually something that was brought to us by President Zelmer on Monday night. And I think it's a great way to ensure that students have a chance, even if they don't have access to the same financial resources as their opponent. And I will accept any friendly amendments to this, as I did quickly draft it up on Monday night directly following that meeting. But yeah, with that, I yield.
Senator Destin, as the second, would you like to speak on it at all? You also don't have to. You can just say ditto.
Oh yeah, I yield because he's already said it.
Perfect. Then in that case, I would normally open it up for questions at this time, but I will allow for the motion to expedite to play now, since I know that it's coming.
Yeah, just motion to expedite to voting today.
And then second from Senator Destin. Yeah, we can discuss that motion, absolutely. I was gonna ask for dissent and then from dissent go into discussion, if that's a dissent.
Oh, so this is why I'm dissenting? I think we should discuss it to make sure everyone understands what's going on before we vote to expedite it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if we could wait 2 minutes.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
no. As the person who motioned to expedite, do you want to talk first on it, and then from the dissent?
So, yeah. So the only reason I had motioned to expedite to voting today is just given the short timeline that we have. That, like we said before, we only have one more meeting after this. And then the first day of spring semester is when the candidacy application launches. And so we want to make sure that we have everything in place that we need to in order for that campaign season to begin smoothly. And I must add, I wasn't trying to avoid discussion on this at all, especially because I was also going to motion to amend, I was going to amend this slightly just to clarify some language at the end there as well. So.
Absolutely, and we will still have a discussion. I just wanted to get this out of the way, if possible. But do we have any other points of discussion on the motion to expedite? Seeing none, then we're going to go ahead and do this one by a raise of placards. You can be in favor, opposed, or abstaining the motion to expedite. All in favor of expediting and voting on this today rather than next week. Raise a placard or raise your hand if you are on Zoom. I'm pulling up the participants list for me. The people in the room can put their hands down. I see that it's unanimous in the room. Nothing from Zoom? All right, I'll take those as abstentions, and the motion to expedite passes. So, then in that case, we will be discussing discussing and voting on this for today. So, with that now being said, I will now open it up for discussion on the election subsidy resolution or any amendments / motions. Yes.
I would just like to amend the be it resolved line to change it from provision by the Elections Commission to add an apostrophe S to the spring election rules. So the final part of that resolution would read, be it resolved, student government agrees to allocate the funds provisioned by the Election Commission's spring election rules. Just to make that clarified.
Nice. Just writing that in real quick. Do we have any other discussion points, motions, amendments? Yes, President Sommer.
Yeah, so for this year, plan is that we're going to use either some carryover or like any money that wasn't used in other line items, such as the amount of money allocated for senator stipends. I mean, $300 is on the agenda right now with 3 vacancies. So that's where like the money, if like we use reserve, we need PR items right now, so that's where some of the reserves are going to go towards as well. But that's where the money's coming from this year. Next year I will include a line item in the student government budget that we propose to SAC, just with a couple $100 put to the side to make sure that come election time some year in the future, there's all of a sudden no funds left to be able to be used. So moving forward, there'll be a line item for it. This year we're just kind of pulling money from where we can in the budget.
All right. Any other points of discussion? Yes, Senator Wenzel.
I'm in support of this. I don't have really any oppositions to it. My only concern would just be parties having significantly more funding than perhaps individuals.
Yeah, President Zummer, if you want to clarify that.
Yeah, so parties can have, let's see, 30, 32, parties can have almost 40 people. If a student is a member of a party, like students within the party don't get $10 each. The party as a whole gets $50. So actually the parties are technically getting less money than people who run as independents. Reason being is that parties have more people to be able to kind of pull resources from, kind of pool money together to be able to get that. They can also use the $50 for like party flyers. When I ran, I did a little flyer that had everyone who was running for every position on my party that we handed out. So it was campaign literature for everyone. They can choose what they want to use it for. We wanted the $10 for people who are running not on a party, but also like when you're running as a part of a party, you have up to $2,000 you can spend. So, which I've never seen someone reach $2,000. Please don't spend $2,000 on a student government campaign. Save your money.
All right. Any other points of discussion? Senator Destin.
Oh, sorry. So I was also going to have concern about the issue of the party system and the individual. So just because the resolution really does not dig out like what constitutes a party, like whether you have to be 5 or more than 5 people within that group in order to have it as a party, or maybe if they are less than 4, which should mean they are getting more resources than the individuals. So can I motion to have like that language in the resolution, straighten it a little bit to say, in order to qualify for the $50 a party, you have to be at least 5 people, or just because we are talking about equity issue, we don't want to have like 3 people in that group and then benefiting $50 when individuals are benefiting $10 each. So
before we go ahead and do that, we actually have some clarifying language on what makes a party within our election rules. Okay. And for that, would we be able to hear from...
can yield to her.
All right, amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify it's up to $50. So if you had a party of 4 people, you'd get $40.
Okay.
If you had a party of 6, you're capped at 50 because 6 would be, 6 times 10 is 60, but it's a party, so they're at 50.
Yo, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Just because of equity, yeah.
All right, do we have any other points of discussion? All right, awesome. Seeing no other points of discussion, I'm going to go ahead and hold this one to a vote. We will once again do by raise of placard or raise of hand if you are on Zoom. Then in that case, I'm going to go ahead and do all in favor, raise of placard or raise of hand. appears to be unanimous from the room, and then seen and UT on Zoom. Go ahead, hands and placards down. Any opposed? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Any abstentions? What's that?
Senator Apiker didn't vote, so.
Yeah, assuming you abstention. All right, very well. Then in that case, this resolution is passed unanimously. Beautiful. That can get claps. We passed the resolution. All right, flipping over the paper to the other side. This resolution was motioned by. This resolution was motioned by President Zelmer with Vice President Ibrahim as a second. So on the textbook deadline resolution amendment, would you like to speak, President
Sure.
Zelmer?
So all this wording was originally passed by I want to say the 87th student government. The year that Anissa Omar was president, Andrew Trenny was vice president, I was the speaker. Anyways, so we passed this as it states in state and federal, or state statute and United States codes. It has a deadline for when faculty and departments need to get their textbooks orders in. This never happens. They are not being held to this. Even the bookstore director said, I don't have many textbook orders in yet. It's hard to be able to buy textbooks through the Maverick Textbook Reserve for students. It also doesn't give students good warning if they need to drop a class because they can't afford the book, they should know before the semester starts. That way they can change up their schedule. They can make sure they can see what they need. And also it would give students more time to find alternative textbook resources that might be more affordable. They updated us spring semester of Anissa's year. I don't know if anyone remembers last year if they came in and updated anyone, but we have not been reached out to update. Even the bookstore director didn't know about this. The dean of the library was like, what? So I decided we'd just repass it, but shout out to former president and vice president and former RHA president, Andrew Trenny. I hope he's not watching online. Get a life. So we are just going to repass this, send this up to administration. Also, there's some language saying that I should write a letter to the IFO president. We're meeting with them on Monday, so I'll just hand deliver it. And then also the university president, cabinet, and deans. That way, they can start putting some pressure on. And if this passes, this is an announcement to the deans that whatever college gets their textbooks in first will be recognized by student government. The College of Business won that the year we gave out that award. So it's just a certificate, but some friendly competition. So yeah, this is just asking that the university enforces state and federal law.
Amazing. All right, Edie, would you like to speak as the second or just ditto? Cool. Cool. Sounds good. Do we have any questions on it? Yes,
I have a
Senator
motion.
Blanchard.
I have a motion to expedite till today.
Oh, a motion to expedite. Is there a second on that motion to expedite? Second. All right. Is there any dissent on a motion to expedite? Any dissent? Any dissent from Zoom? All right. Seeing no dissent, expedited. Then in that case, we will be discussing and voting on this today. Do we have any further questions on the motion before we go forward? Any further questions? Seeing none, discussion. Do we have any discussion or motion/amendments on this resolution? Yes. Senator
Motion to put
Jester.
the question.
Call the question?
Yep.
Beautiful, I love it. All right, is there a second on the motion to call the question? Second, is there any dissent? Seeing no dissent, beautiful. Calling the question, same way as last time, raise of placard or hand if you are in support. I'll go down the options. But raise of placard or hand or if you are in support. All right, let's see one there. Looks like unanimous in the room, plus one on Zoom. All right, hands and placards down. All right, do we have any opposed? Any opposed? None in the room, none on Zoom. All right, any abstentions? Any abstentions? All right, I do not see any abstentions. other than the 2 that did not vote, so they will be counted as abstentions. So therefore, this resolution passes. Woo! That's absolutely beautiful. So then in that case, that covers our new business. We don't have old business. We're gonna go to senator reports. I do have a light announcement that we did add one last senator report right at the bottom of here. Hopefully we're able to squeeze it in for time, because you know what, if we're gonna do 7, might as well do 8, why not? And so we're gonna start with Senator Domenji. Yeah, these are being limited to 5 minutes, and I will be timing these. But if you can keep it under that, that would be much appreciated.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariana. I'm a College of Business Senator. I'll keep it short and sweet. I keep working on researching and collecting useful links and resources for international students seeking job search assistance. Those international students who are graduating soon, looking for potential full-time employment, maybe an internship while studying, and a potential H-1B visa sponsoring employer. I want to say thank you to Killian Klink. I think she's watching right now via Zoom, because after one of the senator meetings, she reached out to me with a suggestion to launch a web page under the MNSU Library Services website that will include all those so far collected links and resources dedicated to international students seeking job search assistance. She shared some resources she had with me. I keep sharing whatever I find with her constantly every week. We keep updating the webpage. So if you have anything you think might be useful for international students in their job search process, please reach out to me or Killian Klink herself. What I realized is that the webpage is a great resource, but it's lacking the accessibility. You gotta commit too many steps in order to access those resources. That's why currently I've been negotiating with Alyssa Morrison, who is the KIC Assistant Director for Strategic Communication and Recruitment, and I've been negotiating the potential listing of those resources under KIC name on the KIC webpage. I'm in the negotiation process, so we'll see what's gonna happen, as well as potentially I'm thinking of reaching out to CDC, to the Career Development Center. And yeah, end of my senator report, I'll send for questions.
Amazing, thank you. Any questions? Yeah, President Zelmer. Sorry, you got to move.
Oh, well, that's fine, honestly. So, thank you so much for doing all of that. Let us know if you need help with the KIC. If you are facing a roadblock, that'd be a great time to bring a resolution since you're already working on it. Everyone listening, work on things before a resolution. And then also, I think the Career Development Center would be a great route. So continue on and great work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? See no? Thank you. I'm so sorry, did you have one?
There was a hand raising in the Zoom, so I was like, a question on the Zoom, but that's lowered right now.
No, yeah, go right ahead. I'm so sorry.
So hi, my point of question is just that if I could and she was saying like for the jobs that they have really for the webpage, because mine was also similar for like internships where we can work with like different departments. I was wondering it would be great if I could work with her and make both of us become better.
Sure, I would appreciate any help. You can reach out either to me or Killian Klink. I would appreciate if you reach out to me because I want to know what's going on as well.
Sure, I'll definitely do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing, thank you very much. So sorry I didn't catch that, but yeah, last call. Any other questions? All right, cool. Thank you very much. Then in that case, Senator Parikh. Senator Parikh,
I'm going to give this to Tushar. My project is to make the academic buildings open for an extended period of time, specifically on weekends. Recent update to that is that after a decline from Dr. Sandy, the Director of Security, I contacted Jane Collis from scheduling regarding the current hours, and I will be in further contact with her for whom to contact. Other than this, I've worked with Senator Destin for student health insurance and a little bit with Senator Zigweed for Maverick Food Pantry. I'm currently working with Senator Nirola for wayfinding project, where he will be explaining further on. Last, that I went to the advocacy conference, which was very informative and fun. I stand for questions.
Amazing. Do we have any questions for Senator Putty? Nice. Seeing no questions, thank you very much. All right, then in that case, Senator Mesta.
Hi everyone. So here's my 2-in-1 report for PR marketing. So we've been meeting for the last couple months. So basically how to engage with students. Some posters we've been posting. Just some things to keep in mind. December 7th is the immigration attorney visit for international students. So I'll be posting that very soon. Just start spreading the word to that. That's 5 o'clock, December 7th. Other things too is that we're setting up recording videos for the grade appeal process for students to understand how that works. So we'll be sending that by finals or before finals. So we're doing that. And then working on promotional items. So hopefully we'll get some cool knickknacks for spring semester. And then for my project as a senator, so I've met with Tressa Flo, the transfer specialist, on how to about the transfer process from coming to Mankato. Some things we discussed was, one more, is having a transfer training for advisors so that when students come in, they don't make something up like my experience. They actually, if they don't know, they say they don't know. So hopefully that can be elevate students, but I think we should work more because I don't think advisors should make stuff up. Again, I've also presented this to the House of Legislators. So yeah, it's not a good experience. So working on that, met with her, plan to meet with a professor that Wayne gave me. So good. Been working on that project.
Amazing. If that is all, I'll ask if there are any questions. Senator Jubenji.
I just have one question. You mentioned that there is going to be a attorney visit. My question is, I remember last semester students had a chance to speak one-on-one with the attorney. Will it be the same thing? Like after the presentation? I think every student had 15 minutes.
I believe so.
Okay, we'll have a sign-up form.
All right, awesome. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, thank you very much. In that case, Senator Destin.
So when I first joined Senate last spring, I obligated myself to a lot of things, trying to accomplish everything, great projects, and I realized that sometimes you don't achieve so many things when you are just one person. So this semester, I try to narrow down my expectation in terms of project to one thing. So I focused on international student health insurance and just trying to advocate for split payment to be maintained. And I want to say a very big thank you to Senator Damenji, Senator Nanti, and all of the other senators who have worked with me on this project. We were able to achieve our goals and our expectations in terms of what we can do as students. So right now it is up to the administration to approve that or not. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of the senators who have worked with me on this project. Moving forward, last week on Tuesday, I guess, I was able to attend the president's town hall meeting, which was an opportunity to hear about his to hear from students on things that they want and how he feels about those things. We asked a lot of questions, and it gives me optimism that the president is looking into resources to help support international students, and he was also open to the idea of my personal idea of bringing in like a private loan agency that the university can work with to provide student loan opportunities for international students who don't have co-signers in the US. So I heard the president is able to do that, and he's happy to hear about that. Another thing I want to stress on is the issue of non-residential graduate student. I realize that as an alleged senator, it is my responsibility to represent the entire student body, not just international students. So over the past few weeks, I received an email from a body of graduate students explaining their need, which is not very different than the issue of international student in regards to the health insurance. So on August 11, 2022, the university sent out an email to non-residential graduate students saying that they were going to increase their tuition by 150%. You can think about that. So 150% increase graduate non-residential students. This has created financial stress for these students who have absolutely no hope, who were not even expecting this change in the first place. And more to that, with the university continuously violating Board Policy 2.3, which states that students, leaders, or student leadership should be consulted on any change that will severely harm students' ability to pay or on anything that affects student well-being. The university has been continuously violating this policy as they have not consulted student government about this policy. And in turn, there will be a lot of graduate students who will be faced with the issue of retention. So on this note, I'm going to be working over the winter break with Senator Bruce and Senator Roberts on a resolution, actually, to help support these students because they deserve to stay here at the university. Lastly, I want to talk about the issue of senator pay. We all know that $100 is not anything to to compensate what we do as student leaders, or to even appreciate anybody here $100 over 4 or 5 months. So looking at the language and the rationale behind paying Senator $100 for the work to do, I thought it's not a good idea to create that impression that senators are getting paid when they are not actually getting paid. So based on that, I'm trying to pursue a project to have the university provide scholarship or some kind of tuition reduction for student leaders who dedicated time and energy to serving their fellow students, instead of giving them $100 and creating an impression that they are being paid for what they do. So instead of that, we want student leaders to be given scholarship or some kind of tuition reduction. Thank you. I'll stand for question.
Thank you very much. Oh, you guys are jumping ahead with the clapping. Do we have any questions first? Oh, yes, President Summer.
Just a note on the graduate student pay. I emailed the State Chair Students United about it, so it is on their radar, and I've requested it gets put on the next Chancellor meeting agenda.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Sweet. Any other questions? Now a much-deserved round of applause. All right. Senator Mendez-Martinez.
Okay, well, my name is Maria, and I am an off-campus senator. So currently, I'm still working on my project. I don't know if you guys have received an email from me. It's a survey. If you guys would be willing to fill it out, that'd be very helpful. If not, understandable. So my project is based off of like first-year students, undergraduates that come. So for example, freshmen. I remember my freshman year when I came here, I was completely lost, and I was like about to cry because I just couldn't find one of my math classes, and I was like, this is unacceptable of me, but you know, it's your first year, so you get lost. Basically, my plan or hope is to have like upperclassmen, such as us that know or that are familiar with the campus, to be around, maybe wearing like some sort of like certain shirt or something, just to make people feel comfortable. Or if you have questions about where your class is, where you should be, or just anything that you may need assistance on your first day, that you are able to help these people. So, I mean, that's kind of my plan, is to have those resources available for students. I don't know if you guys have any questions or ideas, but that's pretty much my project.
Thank you very much. Looks like we've got some questions. Senator Destin?
So, how are you planning to make that like a paid job for students that would be willing to help with that, or is this something more like a volunteer?
Well, that's something I haven't thought about, but like if it's something the university is willing to help pay for, and you know, if it's gonna help us get involved, then I think why not? And it's actually something that they should be willing to do, because if people don't have the resources they need on campus for the first day, then it's like you feel overwhelmed and stressed, and you just don't, you know what I mean? You don't know where to go. And a lot of times it's like some of the faculty aren't even out, they're like in their offices and stuff, and that also makes it harder, especially for me. I don't know about other students, but that's how I felt.
Thank you very much. Senator Wing.
So when you're speaking about freshmen not being able to find their classes, a program actually came to mind that I think could definitely aid in that effort. It's called These 3 Words, and it would allow students a way to navigate to their classes, given that their professor just provide them with the 3 words associated with that room. And I can show you that after the meeting. That is a program that I definitely think faculty could benefit from, and it could directly benefit students significantly. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Senator Bryant.
I'm pretty sure they did this in 2018. Was it the student ambassadors? They like had tables. Did anybody else start in 2018? Okay, that was my first year. That was my freshman year. And they had tables full of like people with shirts, and they like walked you if you didn't know where the class was. I don't know what organization that was though. So I yielded.
Are you willing to yield to Mark Constantine, Senator Bryant?
Yes.
Cool.
I just want to mention during Welcome Week we have that as part of our program too for people to do that. So that's one that we've built in every year on a Sunday, I think, before the first day of classes, that people can learn where their classes are.
Nice. Senator Mueller.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of great recommendations for you. And just another one for me. If payments of the services of people who would be like doing these, like helping the first year students, an option that came to mind for me was to kind of like take these duties and integrate them into campus tour guides or other student employees that are already on campus, instead of creating a new position and a new payroll for the university. That's just kind of an idea I had if you wanted to have like paid service for the people who do this, and they tour guides already know their way around campus, and that's just an idea. Thank you.
Yeah, so then.
I yield to redundancy.
Okay. Cool. I know a lot of people just like threw a lot of stuff at you. Do you have anything that you want to say on top of that?
No, not really. It's just that like he said, if there's people that are willing to do it for free, or like tour guides and stuff, that's even better. I just feel like it should be something that we continue doing it. I know she said they did in 2018, and if it was actually something that was successful and useful for students, then it should be something that we should continue doing every year in the fall or whenever we get new students, so that people do feel welcomed and not overwhelmed.
Nice. Any last questions or anything else? Doesn't look like it. Thank you very much. All right, and then I don't believe this person is here, but Senator Guiber-Maria. Nope. Senator Narala.
Hello everyone, just going to keep this short and sweet. I'm working and helping our range of senators working on their projects to help with the constituencies that I represent. For my personal project, I am meeting with my faculty co-sponsor who might be willing to co-sponsor the project that I've been doing, a Wayfinder application. And I've also been meeting with the director of computer science project about the what 3 words. We've talked about it, and we're still looking at how we might integrate in that project. It would be great if we can talk after Senate about it. I've talked with the executive board, and they're on board if everything goes well. I've been working with other senators in that project, and I think it's getting into a good shape. And I'd also like to share about how we went to Students United Advocacy on November 5th. It was a great opportunity. We got to represent our college. We got to delegate and relay information about our college to other Minnesota State System colleges, and we also learned about a lot of fun projects that other senators and other colleges have been doing at their campuses. So yeah, I stand for questions.
Amazing, thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Senator Destin.
More of a comment. I just want to say thank you to Senator Niroda, because he's been one of the senators who really believe in the projects of others and willing to help make that happen. So it is not more about focusing on your constituency, but focusing on the larger student population. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you for amazing projects that you guys bring.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Then in that case, do we have any other questions? Seeing none, amazing report. Thank you. All right, last but certainly not least, Senator Woldekainen.
So I'm Dana Woldekainen. I'm Senate for the Human and Social Science. And my project is about students who has classes that is completely online or known as acronymed.
Thank you, Matt.
So, which I'm planning to do is like providing sources for them, like tutoring if they are like available for those classes, if they have any tutors or any resource that are given by the professors, or will be classes like, as I said, tutoring. And the other would be I will be having a meeting with Dean Brown and Dr. Chip this upcoming Friday, and I'll be talking with them and discussing how we could solve these problems, or how can we see this. Yeah, that's all. And the other thing is I have been attending the Math Book Reserve Committee and the DIA Committee. Thank you. That's not my question.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Any questions? Seeing none, thank you so much. All right, that finishes out our senator reports for today. We already covered our new business. So vacancies, I'll just ask, do we have anyone here for a College of Allied Health and Nursing vacancy? I did not anticipate as much, but then in that case, we have no old business. Let's move on. Announcements. Do we have any? Yes, Senator.
So I'm going to try and keep this quick, but I have a slew of announcements. So in the next few weeks, there's quite a few things going on, both within my committees as well as the college. So next week, on the 23rd, I have the Legislative Priorities Advisory Committee through Students United. If you have any legislative issues that you'd like to have talked about at one of these, so that way we can better inform the board, please let me know, and that way I can bring it up in those discussions. Next thing I have on here is on the 28th, that's the Monday directly after Thanksgiving break. Starting from 2 to 4, there will be choral rehearsals here in the CSU, and I'm working on getting that organized right now, just to kind of showcase our choirs a little bit, do a little bit of PR. If you can't make our December 4th performances, that'd be a great way to come support some of our singers. That following day, the 29th, is the next planning committee meeting, in which we'll be discussing possible alternative revenue sources for the green transportation fee. And so I will keep y'all updated on that. But if you have any input on that, I would really appreciate it. And then I did mention December 4th is our next choral performance. All three of our choirs will be performing at that. And then this February, we're looking at putting together a fundraiser for our music ensembles within the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. I will try and have an update for y'all at the first meeting in the spring semester. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Senator Destin.
Oh, I was gonna make.
Oh, go for it.
As I've said before, chat with me about the green transportation fee. I have a meeting with the Vice Chancellor of Finance and Facilities who would make the ultimate decision on that coming soon, so we can work together on that.
Cool. Then in that case, Senator Destin.
Yeah, I just want to put it out here to everyone. So with the issue of having senators having scholarship instead of like $100 compensation, if there's any senator who wants
Senator
to
Destin, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to ask that this is I may have to say, this does not sound like it's going to be an announcement. This sounds like it's something for potentially open forum or a discussion.
No, it's not open forum. It's an announcement. Just I just want to ask if anyone is willing to work with me on it. You can feel free to join me after Senate or send me an email and we can work together over the winter break.
All right, cool. Sorry for striking that down prematurely. Then in that case, Senator Wenzel.
The International Poetry Recital is tomorrow at 3 p.m. in Ostrander Auditorium, I believe. I'm scheduled to read something I wrote that was actually inspired by the Black Civil Rights activist Malcolm X. So if you want to come down there around 3 tomorrow afternoon, you can come see me read something.
Amazing, thank you very much. President Zelmer.
Tomorrow there is coffee with the provost. I'm hoping you all will go and attend that. I also hope you all maybe want to mention that the university spent over $2 million on high-flex technology that is currently not being used and faculty don't want to use it. So if students keep bringing it up and pushing it, hopefully, lectures that can easily be offered on Zoom because there's no group projects, they're just reading a PowerPoint or lecturing at us, can be moved to high-flex technology, and also that high-flex classes that are offered as high-flex next semester are actually take place as high-flex, not just all online or all in person. So make sure you go talk with the provost. He's also has an experience in student affairs and is also new to the university, so he's a great person to kind of bounce ideas off of, see what happens at other universities and get some feedback. So make sure you go attend that at 2 p.m. That is office hours since you are on Senate duty. So make sure you attend that. Also, there's like coffee and snacks, and only like 3 people showed up last time, so I'm a little disappointed. Also, the theater program has a super cool show this weekend. It's called Last Summer at Bluefish Cove, I believe. It's about like lesbian OBGYNs or gynecologists in, I believe, the 70s. Awesome storyline, great people in it. So make sure you go stop by. There are super cheap tickets available to students. Make sure you go see that.
All right, I'm going to give it to Senator Parikh and then back to me.
Hey everyone, this Saturday we have Student Association of India's our own very retro Bollywood night from 4 to 7 p.m. in Ostrander's Auditorium. I hereby invite all of you. The tickets are available online. If you guys need any more information, please be in contact with me.
All right, amazing. Senator Wayne.
I apologize. I forgot about one other thing that I wanted to add in support of our art students. So Friday and Sunday this weekend we have some recitals taking place over in the Performing Arts Center. And I can get more information on that, but we have some very great singers performing this weekend, especially members of our choir council who I definitely suggest you come and support. And I can get you more information on that, but those will be, there's one taking place Friday evening and then 2 taking place on Sunday afternoon. So,
thank you very much. Senator Mueller.
Kind of more of a question for President Zelmer. It might have been mentioned, but if it already was, kind of just reiterate it. What time is that coffee with the provost, if you did not mention or forgot to mention? Or
It's at 2 p.m.,
Okay.
Which if you're not going to vote in favor of my French Revolution proposal, I recommend you skip class that day. So otherwise you should show up to class if you'll vote with me. So.
We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, wow, what a Jacobin. Anyways.
Senator Royker.
I just want to let everyone know, I already told Academic Affairs Committee about this. Tomorrow from 11 to 12 in Armstrong Hall 211, a group of sociology students is going to be presenting some findings about a survey they did about transportation and food insecurity at MSU and different ideas they came up with to help solve it. All part of National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. So.
All right, amazing. Thank you very much. Any, yes, go right ahead, Mark.
Just want to let you know that this time of the year, the CSU is doing our educational benchmarking survey. If some of you may have received, we're asking 3,500 students to give us feedback on the student union, some of the things you like and don't like. So if you did get something from Lenny Kupel, it would have come from, and it might have said Sky Factor, that's the name of the company, or it might have said EBI. It's not a scam. It's us So if you did get something at all, please fill that out if you can, to give us good feedback overall on that. And I did want to let you know that the Student Union Board, we're having our third meeting this Friday, and we're starting our budget process where all the operations folks from the CSU will be meeting with the Student Union Board to start presenting their budget parts to that as we form our budget for the spring.
Please. Thank you very much. Any other than Yep, Senator
Just
DeMenti.
wanted to add to that if you complete the survey, you get a chance to win a $300 gift card at the computer store on campus.
Bookstore.
And they only bookstore. They only showed in the end because I completed the survey and I found out now I can get the prize.
Why didn't I get the survey?
I got this. I got it.
I got this.
All right. We're bringing it back in. All right. Hey, any other announcements? Seeing no announcements, we're going to go ahead and move on to roll call. Am I going to be able to get it in? Yes. All right. Senator Giba Miriam. All right. Senator Sharaf.
Here.
Senator Larson.
Here.
Senator Woldekaiden.
Here.
Senator Wing.
Present.
Senator DeMengi. Senator Wynn. Victor Wynn. Absent. Senator Bryant.
Oh, sorry, here.
All right. Senator Roberts or by proxy. Senator Wenzel.
Here.
All right. Senator Rivera. Here. Senator Nick Wynn.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Nirala. Here. Senator Berhanu. Senator Destined. Rest in peace. Senator Abmaker. Senator Abmaker? Yes, on Zoom. All right. Senator Mendez Martinez.
Here.
Senator Huff.
Here.
And Heiss. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Senator Zigweed.
Here.
Senator Mesta.
Here.
Senator Mueller.
Here.
Senator Parik. Thank you. Senator Tamim. Nope. Senator Blanchard. Rest in peace. Senator Goff. All right. I'm going to say it again. Senator Joff. Still with Senator Parik? I do not. Okay, sweet. All right. Senator Royger. Senator Andrew.
Here.
Me, I'm here. President Zelmer.
Here.
Vice President Ibrahim. Here. Thank you, everyone. I officially call this meeting adjourned at 5:32. That was a quick meeting. Let's go. That was
all the Senate reports and 2 resolutions.
Wow. Things really take less time when everyone doesn't repeat speaking points.
Last week it was like
it was for me. So here's the
I think it's over like 2
Here's what you want. It's like
This